Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and when I bought this grape, Flame Seedless, I immediately decided to make a video about it. Well, at first my decision was just because the grapes are round, which is quite unusual for dessert grapes sold here in Germany. While almost all wine grapes in Germany are round, dessert grapes here are basically always elongated. And that started me reading first the label, then stuff on the internet, and I went into a little rabbit hole to find out what those grapes are. Right now it's May in Germany, so the cherry season has just started, but basically during the last months I survived to a large extent on imported grapes and blueberries. Grape import and grape trade has come a long way since I was young. I remember in the 70s and 80s in winter there were a couple absolutely tasteless green grape varieties out of season. And actually in Germany there were not so many dessert grapes anyways. I mean, in season, yeah, you would get stuff from Italy, from Spain, from Turkey and so on. Also the German wine producers, we don't have dessert grape producers in Germany, but wine production is a big thing. They used to sell single bunches of grapes in front of their farms. They were good, but they were wine grapes, not dessert grapes. Nowadays it's quite easy to find tasty grapes, tasty sweet dessert grapes throughout the year. However, in most of, well, what is our late winter and spring, they come from the southern hemisphere, from places like Chile, Argentina, Australia, South Africa. Also, we get a number of tropical grapes from India, from Brazil, but those here, at least for me, it's a first. This Flame Seedless is from Egypt, which is quite strange. I mean, Egypt is a Mediterranean country and it's May. In the Mediterranean, usually grape harvest, there a couple early varieties maybe in July, but usually it starts like in August, September. Here in Germany it's September, October, all the way till November. So quite strange. I mean, okay, yeah, Egypt is south of the Mediterranean, while the European countries are north of the Mediterranean. That makes quite a big difference. Also, Egypt is a desert country. The heat and sun might help for an early ripening. So quite interesting. Grapes from Egypt in May, months before the normal Mediterranean grape season. Then about Flame Seedless. Well, while I don't remember to have seen it here, it seems to be the second most important grape variety in the US. And I read so many things about it that I forgot a couple things. Let's see. Especially the origin. Funny. Here is a site which says the white the white grapevine. It's not white, it's red. It's a complex hybrid between Cardinal and Sultana and Red Malaga and Tafihi Ahmer and Muscat Alexandra and Thompson's Seedless. It was bred in '61 in the US by John H. Weinberger and F.N. Harman. However, a different size says that it was introduced by Kovacevic in California. Well, was brought to the United States by Kovacevic in California in '73. But wait, this other one says that it was bred in the US. So quite a confusion. Quite a confusion about the origin, but it seems it's a 20th century variety and it's a complex hybrid between different grape varieties. It is being sold, the vines are being sold for Germany, which might not be the most clever thing, because it seems that this thing needs hot, dry climate. It needs a lot of water, but it needs hot, dry climate. I don't think it will fare that well in the German climate. But it fares quite well in the US, where it's the second largest variety, the second most popular variety in Australia, which is notoriously hot and sunny, at least most parts of it where there is grape cultivation. Different countries in Africa, I think also in Peru, which is also an equatorial country that has enough deserts and dry climate. And of course the notoriously dry Egypt, where I'm sure it's being irrigated. Yeah, why is this thing so popular? Well, it is very productive. The grapes are seedless and tasty enough. And it stores very well. That means you can transport it throughout the world. It's also being used to make wine, but mostly it's being eaten as a dessert grape. Yeah, it needs quite a long growing period, but it ripens early. I wonder how this makes sense, but I mean, yeah, it's from the northern hemisphere, basically almost from the Mediterranean, from the Sahara Desert, and we are in May. And I mean, could have been picked in early May, since it's already here in Germany in late May. Yeah, the main claim to fame seems to be that it stores and transports really well. Yeah, beautiful flesh-colored grapes. Seedless. Basically no flavor, so there are no muscadine grapes or something like that. Not too sweet, not too sour, good balance. It does not ripen on the shelf, so you have to pick it ripe. And as ripe as you pick it, that's also the ripeness at which you will eat it. Yeah, good grape. I can recommend it. Yeah, nowadays we are really spoiled for good grape varieties. Believe me, 30 years ago it was nothing like this out of season. Yeah, good grape. If you run into this flame seedless, definitely buy it. Tell me what you think. Do you have experience with this grape? Have you ever eaten it, grown it, seen plantations? Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful and incredibly fruit-rich supermarkets of Germany. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.